Audio Jungle.
I wonder if there's anything in Prince Harry's befuddled mind that isn't the fault of what he calls the news media pestilence, famine, his mother's death, climate change, the fact he can't get Marmite in California? Okay, I made that one up. Now he's claiming the news media has contributed to mass-scale misinformation and lies about the vaccine and created vaccine hesitancy. Sorry, but that is hysterical, uninformed tosh. If this idiot ever read the news, he'd know the media has been vociferously pro the vaccine. What hasn't is social media, where for months a deranged cabal of conspiracy theorists have been screaming about the government, together with Bill Gates, using the vaccines to implant microchips into our brains. They're also claiming it makes people magnetic, causes autism, and is made from fetal tissue. But Thicky Harry clearly doesn't know the difference between social and news media, which became obvious at GQ's Men of the Year Awards this week, where he made the confused claim that the news media had been peddling mass misinformation and lies about the vaccine. Of course, none of this is to do with the vaccine, it's all about Harry's paranoiac, unrelenting hatred of the media, which he despises, in part, because it sees him and Meghan for what they are. Because it dares to question their so-called truths and calls out their towering hypocrisy, like when supposed eco-warrior Harry recently took a private jet from a polo match in Aspen back to his home in Santa Barbara, which would easily have emitted 10 tons of CO2. But, hey, we should know by now Harry's climate change mantra has always been "don't do what I do, do what I tell you to do." He and Meghan hate the news media because its journalists behave like actual journalists and not the fawning PR lackeys they want them to be. The news media doesn't just swallow every outlandish, hurtful claim he and Meghan make. The pair of them have made a career and many millions out of taking vile potshots at the royal family while playing professional victims, whining about their hellish treatment at the hands of the Windsors. And that's why Ofcom's decision this week, which completely exonerated Piers Morgan for saying he didn't believe a word of what they said in that Oprah interview, wasn't just an embarrassing smack in the face for this self-righteous pair, it's also a big wake-up call for them. Until now they've operated safe in the knowledge that anyone who dared criticize them was silenced, but not before being slated as a racist, a sexist, or both. We weren't allowed to probe their so-called truths, many of which have proved to be untrue. But this Ofcom ruling sets a precedent. It means we're now entitled to say we don't believe everything they spout, which isn't just a victory for free speech but for common sense as well. Why should Meghan and Harry be entitled to free speech while the rest of us are not? It also means Os and Megs might now have to provide evidence, hard facts, for some of their devastating accusations about the royals. And maybe they'll now think twice about abusing their power by contacting the bosses of people who've upset them and demanding they be sacked, which Meghan did over Piers Morgan. They will have to do what they should always have had to do, but which ingrained wackery here prevented, and that's be able to back up what they say. Because with every day that passes they look less credible and more neurotic and desperate. Their motives look less charitable and more self-serving. And if Harry wants to know what peddlers of misinformation look like, he just needs to look in the mirror. A funny story from Piers Morgan, 56, took to Twitter and reveled in delight at the British public after he received a note on his car. It comes after the ex-Good Morning Britain host declared himself vindicated after the media regulator Ofcom cleared him about the comments he made criticizing Meghan Markle, 40. The broadcaster took to the microblogging site and revealed a message had been left on the windshield of his filthy car today. The ex-GMB host said the British public had common sense after sharing the message, in view of his 7.9 million followers. Taking to social media, Piers shared a snap of his car with a handwritten note left on his windscreen. He tweeted, "Just found this on my filthy car windscreen. Whoever put it there, thanks. The British public are a wonderful common sense bunch." Piers added, #Ofcom, followed by a flex muscled emoji. The note left on his car simply read, "Well done." Fans flocked to comment on the post, as some people mocked the presenter, claiming he had written the note himself. One joked, "That's your handwriting, Piers." Another commented, "Stop writing notes to yourself. Maybe it had something to do with your parking," a third quipped. While others applauded Piers, as another remarked, "Keep up the good work, mate." Another said, "Well done. You deserve it. Congratulations, Piers." It comes after Piers's GMB rant, where he claimed to not have believed the Duchess of Sussex during her tell-all interview with Oprah Winfrey in March. Ofcom made the decision to not sanction the ITV breakfast show over Piers' remarks, claiming it was freedom of speech. The outspoken journalist has since accused the woke brigade of shaming and vilifying individuals. He argued that he should have the freedom to express his own opinions without the possibility of losing his job. The ex-GMB host said Ofcom's report was a resounding defeat against the Duchess. Following his comments towards Meghan, Piers was asked to apologize by ITV bosses but he refused. The broadcaster decided to quit GMB amid the furor that followed.